Hey everyone, welcome inside your exclusive look of a closed practice here at the Scott Trade Center in St. Louis. That's why we have this beautiful curtain up behind us, but we do have the voice of the Badgers here, Matt Lepay, to shed some insight on the Badgers as they get set for their second round matchup against Xavier. And Matt, you stayed and watched the Musketeers game. What do we need to know about them?
Well, first of all, it's a really nice curtain. Everything's locked down here in the NCAA tournament. Just seeing Xavier in person for the first time. I haven't watched a few of their games during the course of the season, but having seen them up close, it's a big team. You have a couple guys they can roll in there, 6'10", between 240, 250 pounds. James Farr, who had a terrific game against Weber State. Jalen Reynolds, who can dunk it emphatically, and he had one or two of those last night. He's had several of those this season, but they're good all over. Their backcourt players are real solid. They have a lot of depth. Remy Abel, who's a transfer from Indiana. Some Badger fans might remember that name. He's been with the Xavier program now the last couple of years. Trayvon Blewett, one of the better players in the Big East. They were second place in the Big East. They've only lost 4 games, so this has been a very good team. It's been very good for a number of years, but this might be one of Chris Mack's better teams in a while.
We talked about in the first round matchup with the Badgers how they needed to rebound against Pitt. They out-rebounded the Panthers. Now another huge challenge on the glass for Wisconsin.
Yeah, that was a big difference, the defensive work against Pitt and then the ability to end up a +1 on the glass and to outscore Pitt in second chance points. Now, both teams had a lot of chances for second chances, if you will, a lot of missed shots in that game, but to the Badgers' credit, they were really doing a great job throughout the game, especially after those first 10, 15 minutes of getting after it, getting the 50-50 balls, and it's going to be a similar type of story with Xavier. Xavier does play at a quicker pace, and in fact, they're in a top 40 with adjusted tempo for those who are into advanced metrics in basketball. The Badgers are 345th out of 351 teams in average possessions, according to the Ken Palm stats. I'll not bore you with a lot of numbers there, but long story short, Xavier likes to play quick, scores over 80 a game. Wisconsin, the theory is a team that plays a slower pace can be more effective in getting that faster team to slow down than vice versa. So maybe Wisconsin can frustrate Xavier, keep it at a Wisconsin pace, could be a big factor in this game.
Another huge help would be getting Bronson Koenig and Nigel Hayes going. Before we got out here, Greg Gard said the best players need to be the best players in the NCAA tournament. Wasn't necessarily the case last night, but they still found a way to win the game, and that can bode pretty well for them going forward.
Yeah, it's a mixture of encouraging news and cause for concern because they were able to win despite having Bronson and Nigel shoot the ball at all. Now, they did some other things to be sure to help their team win, but I mean, let's face it, you need those guys to be able to knock down shots. Fortunately, Ethan Happ had a terrific game. Vito Brown continues to shoot it well from three-point range. He's made more than half of his shots from the three-point line here over the last 11 games. So certainly great if that can continue, but you know Hayes, you know Koenig can score and shoot the ball at a much, much higher clip than they have. And if they're going to get through this game, it's probably going to have to happen. Now, you can get away with it once. I don't know if you can get away with it twice.
Yeah, we'll see what happens on Sunday night. Game tips off at 7:45 on TNT. For UWBadgers.com, I'm Brandon Spiegel.